Hi everyone, today we're going to be going over the addresses holding X amount of Bitcoin by year, and how you can use this tool to help improve your Bitcoin investing and analysis. This chart, as well as many others, are all freely available on lookintobitcoin.com, your number one source for Bitcoin information. If you haven't already, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to ensure you're receiving all of our content as soon as it's released. So what is the addresses holding XBTC by year chart? Well, it's one of the simpler new tools we have on lookintobitcoin.com, and it is, as it sounds, showing us the amount of addresses, unique addresses holding a minimum amount of BTC. So for example, these green colors bars we see here are the addresses holding at least 0.01 BTC per year. So it's interesting to see this data, which gives us an insight into the year-by-year adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as an asset class, as we saw a rather exponential increase in new addresses holding this minimum amount of Bitcoin from 2016 to 2017, before an actual decrease in 2017 to 2018 following the bear market cycle we had after the 2017 price peak. But we can see this is generally on a very steady uptrend to the upside, and it'll be interesting to see over the coming years how many unique addresses we can have holding this small amount of BTC can reach. And these charts below show us the same but for larger values. So for example, this orange one is showing us the amount of unique addresses holding at least 0.1 Bitcoin, whereas down here in the red it is showing us the amount of people in the 21 club, which is the amount of addresses holding at least 1 Bitcoin. And considering there is only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin in circulation, if you hold at least 1 Bitcoin, you can know that you're one of the at most 21 million different addresses holding at least 1 BTC. Now, one thing we have to consider with this chart and this data point is that these don't necessarily represent unique users that are holding this minimum amount of BTC, because many Bitcoin traders and investors actually split their holdings across multiple different wallets. Now, this is for a few different reasons. Number one is just general security, because if, for example, one account, one address, one wallet of yours is ever compromised, if you had all of your funds on that, then that would unfortunately mean that potentially all of your Bitcoin is lost. Whereas if you split your investments, your holdings over potentially 10 different wallets, then at worst, if one is compromised, you still have 9/10 of your investments to hold on to. So this doesn't necessarily give a true reflection of the amount of unique users holding Bitcoin, and it also doesn't factor in the amount of users that are just holding their Bitcoin on exchanges, as many exchanges tend to just group their Bitcoin holdings into just a handful of small Bitcoin wallets. So just to summarize, the Bitcoin addresses holding XBTC by year chart shows us the number of addresses that hold a minimum of the specified amount of Bitcoin on a year-by-year basis. And by factoring in the addresses holding at least 0.01, 0.1 and 1 BTC, we can get a good indication at the growth rate and adoption of Bitcoin. Although we do have to consider, even though we've been on a almost consistently upside trend for the past decade, we have to factor in that users can hold multiple wallets, or there may be individual addresses that are holding the assets of multiple different users, such as exchanges. So while this metric isn't quite perfect, it gives us a very good indication of the general growth rate of cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. If you like this chart, then please visit lookintobitcoin.com, where we want to make Bitcoin data accessible for everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to learn about all our other charts and gain even more insights. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.